Hello everybody, GL1 here. Welcome to my online toy museum. I am here with my friend Gordo, and today we are going to talk about some T-Rexes and also compare them to real T-Rexes and talk about which ones have features that are more or less like a real T-Rex skeleton. So we're going to start with the new T-Rex that has been on the market just a little while. Came in this box. This is the Real Feel T-Rex that actually was made in 2022, but really you could only find it, I believe, 2023 before the Christmas season started, and even then it was kind of rare. And it's this guy right here. And what we're going to do is compare this to the T-Rexes from the past. And my friend Gordo here is going to ask me questions or observations, and we'll see whether we get more out of this than usual. So the first thing I'd like to point out is what they mean by real feel is that he's squishy. So see that? He's squishy. And you can turn his tail and, squeeze his chest and everything. And there's a button under here somewhere. There you go. You press right up on there. It makes noises. You gotta open his mouth more for that, right? And he's chomping. And he chomps because, like the old one, this is the 1993 Big Bull T-Rex. Okay, so one of the early, very good T-Rexes that were made. You could take a small dinosaur, put it in his mouth, it goes down his gullet, and then you can find your people or small dinosaurs here. And the speaker is here. There's a reason why I'm pointing all this out. And those features there, the fact that he's squishy, that his mouth, has a port in it, right? He can swallow things and pull it out, is just like this big fella over here. The big one, the problem with it, and always has been, and they did make this in red as well, is that it falls over. It's very difficult to get this to stand up. I have tried putting the legs in boiling water to heat up the plastic and then bend them to a better, more advantageous angle. And then you heat them up and then you put them under cold water. And it does change the angle of the plastic, but it still wasn't good enough to get them to stand up and stay. So I took this board and I put a couple bands on it, nails, and I just kind of like plunk his feet underneath the bands, and that helps him stand up. Well, here's the thing I can tell you about this guy. So obviously he's really big. I mean, he's not the colossal size T-Rex, but he is the biggest T-Rex that is not the colossal size, which are about 4 feet long. But this is, the biggest one that's like really playable. The problem with those really big ones is you can't really play that much with it. It's just gigantic. This one has the squishiness, okay? And you have the hole in the mouth, and you could see, actually, it's a bigger hole, so you could put bigger people and dinosaurs. And it came with a little figure that fit inside like a little metal box, like he was trapped in a box, and that would go down his mouth. I don't have that. I think I lost it. And then here, look, you got a really big opening. Somebody fell over, and that's pretty common with most of the T-Rexes. So you have your battery box in there, and you can get your toys out here. And it takes 3 AAA batteries, and if you can find the button, which accidentally I will, you try to find the button. This is not as easy, there you go, on this guy. And every once in a while, he will make crunching sounds. But unlike the other one, it's not predictable. It's hard to find the button. And the other one goes through a cycle of like 4 or 5 different sounds. This one, just every once in a while, all it's going to make is a crunching sound. As you can see, the mouth just stays open. It doesn't have a hinge on it. And that is, but those, other than that, right, it's very similar. It's got the striping on it, and you can see that our new fella has the striping on it. But here's where things also are very different. The new T-Rex includes some of the newer technology, I'd say toy technology, about T-Rex toy technology that the Jurassic Park toys have been known for since the new movies came out. Now, the first grouping of T-Rexes that came out, or the first group, still had trouble standing and didn't have as much articulation. But right after that, they came out with these features, and they included it on this guy. So you have an arm joint.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And it's rubbery. You can bend it. It's hard plastic on this big guy over here. You can't bend it as much. The other is you even have some hip articulation. See that? So you can widen the stance to help him stand. And if that isn't enough, you can turn his feet to help give him even more stability. And that's why he doesn't fall over. So you have the hinge in the mouth, and it's a double hinge. The head hinges up so you can really get the mouth very angry and wide. What would be great, this was originally $50. I think it should have the tongue that you can pull up and have it stay in the middle. And a couple of these T-Rexes have that feature. Actually, 3. And I'll show you that. You can't turn the head other than, like pushing it, but it doesn't like stay in any direction. There's no joint inside. And when you move the tail like this, it does not move the head. Why am I saying that? Because one of the old ones actually has that feature. Wow. Yeah, one of the first generation. Now, the other thing I want you to observe here is it has 4 toes. So you have your 3 big toes, and then you have a 4th toe back here, just like a dog, right? Has that back toe. But take a look at the old T-Rex. This is the only one that has this. The big toe is off of the leg or off of the foot, and really a weapon, really for clinging onto something. Maybe it would leap onto a sauropod, which one is like a brontosaurus, one of the large dinosaurs, Apatosaurus, Brachiosaurus was around at this time, and then hold on with its feet and start gnashing with its teeth. So you can move the arms, but as you can see, it doesn't have. Nobody was thinking to put a joint, and you can't. And the trouble with the legs, right? It falls over. Here's another thing, though, that's just really great about this. Actually,
it's impressive.
It is impressive, yeah. And it's going to get more impressive in a second because I'm going to tell you a couple of things. This one has the glass eyes that follow you everywhere you look. Okay. Nice. And that feature is only on the Hammond collection, the other high-end $50 T-Rex. So that is, unique to just those 2. You have a very prominent ridge over the head. So if we look at the skull structure, of course this guy doesn't stand up. Let's see if we can get him to stand. Okay. You could see the T-Rex. One of the strong features on a T-Rex in general is that crest over the eye. And it's probably a protective crest, so that when it's fighting or something like that to protect the eye. But you can see it's much larger on the old T-Rex.
It's noticeable right away.
Right away, right. Noticeable right away. He's just really big and thick and a muscular animal as well. The other thing I want you to take note of is look at the size of the toenails in proportion to the feet. Much larger. Now, I'm going to throw up some pictures. Throw up, not a great word to use. But I'm going to put up some pictures of some real T-Rex skulls and feet. Because what I want you to take note of is the position of the foot on a real T-Rex versus these. Okay? So there's 2 more things I want to compare these 2 with. One thing that's cool on this guy is that, look at all the, he's got like fingerprints, toe prints, so much detail in the feet.
The paint, the way they faded everything in, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, it is a nice model of a T-Rex. And And if you have the app, which, as I've said before, sucks up a lot of data or a lot of memory on your phone, but you can scan. There's your scan right in there, and it'll give you all kinds of detail. And if you're collecting to, try to get everything, like I kind of do, there it is. So of course the old T-Rex doesn't have that, but take a look at the foot printing. Actually, you know what? I'll just compare them. Okay, so this actually came out in 1997, but they had older ones. They just put it out again. So, all right, so you can see the foot printing. But look at the size of the toenails. So much larger on this T-Rex. When I put the pictures up of the real T-Rex skeleton, take a look and see what you think. If this is actually closer to in accuracy to the actual T-Rex toenails. Well, here comes down one of the best things about this T-Rex, the teeth. So if you'll look, you could see they're all like individualized teeth of varying sizes. Nothing is symmetrical in this. Well, actually, that's not true. They're asymmetrically symmetrical. You have broken teeth, right? So you have, you have 3 broken teeth there. Oh, there we go in the camera. Okay, 3 broken teeth there. You have, sometimes you do have some symmetry though, like you have this tooth and this tooth broken and this tooth and that tooth, on the other side. But you can see like it kind of has like a tooth that's kind of snaggling out over here. You have teeth that are varying sizes, especially these big teeth here that really come down. And I'm going to put some pictures up of my hand next to the teeth. And this is very accurate. These teeth, if you go like from where the tooth connects into the bone, it's about 9 inches. So the teeth maybe are 7 inches outside of the gum, but 9 inches all the way, and you'll see that with my hand. But this is really quite an impressive detail because look, this is just the standard issue. Like, let's just put a bunch of teeth in there. You can see the bottom teeth are rather small. I mean, all the teeth in comparison to its mouth, not that big, right?
Right.
Yeah. So this is much more realistic. Now you'd think, 26 years ago, 26, 27 years ago, why don't they just carry that forward, being that they had it right? And for $50 in this guy, why don't you put the glass eyes on it? I know, it has a sound and everything and has some of the newer features, but really, I don't know. I think that's a little different.
It really does make a huge difference.
Yeah, the glass eyes. Yeah.
One of the first things I noticed, actually.
Right, and see, you don't see that. Here's the Hammond collection, and if you guys have seen my other shows, I use this guy on various other examples, but he's such a great model. And this is the only model of the T-Rex. You know what? I actually haven't measured the bull. I'll have to measure it. But a T-Rex's head is 1/8 the size of the body, the length of the body, and the Hammond collection one is 1/8. So if you measure this out and convert the measurements of centimeters of the head to the body, this would be a 40-foot T-Rex. So you could see it's got the glass eyes. And this was $50. And look, you see, you have the individual teeth, but all the teeth are just fine. They're not broken. There's no real fancy detail on that. I think it would have been cool if they'd copied again. Take a look at the bull T-Rex teeth. Just fantastic. What's nice is you could still appreciate another version of a T-Rex, though. It's like, oh well, I have both, and this one's different than this one. And then you have sort of the bumps on his body, the detail. Look, he's got bumps up here. Just your random, like bumps on the body, and then kind of bumps here. You got bumps here, like actual, not just drawn on bumps. Whereas the Hammond collection, which is like the highest end one, it's just like little paint divots. But I love my Hammond collection T-Rex.
The detail's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, and you have full articulation with the arms. You have, wrist articulation. It's really an action figure. You can move the head around. You have your torso joint. You can open the mouth up all the way. It clicks and stays open. You have like this rubbery tissue here. And then this is where you can pull the tongue up And so you get that nice position there, and you can push it down, and so it'll stay there. So that's a really, and it's flexible too. So that's kind of neat. And this feature, having the tongue be able to move or do something with it, is in two other Jurassic Park T-Rexes, but one of them actually activates something, and I'll show you that. But you can see it has the double jointed knees. It has the legs that go out for stability. You can turn the feet, but the feet are on a ball joint, far more effective. I mean, you're getting a lot for $50 with this T-Rex, and you have the soft, squishy tail. Actually, I mean, it's the plastic is very solid. It's a heavy figure, and the neck actually has some rubber here. If you want to take a look at that,
check it out.
Yeah.
Overall, I think this is one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's great. It's so good that at Christmas they had one on sale for $16. I bought another one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, I'm like, well, you can't beat that. They were $50 originally. All right, so I'm going to show you how some of the features of the red T-Rex are like this T-Rex. Now, this also is one of the early T-Rexes from Jurassic Park. And this one, when you bend the tail, the head goes in the opposite direction. So that was the feature of that. This is even more real feel than either one. It actually has like a frame underneath, so you feel like you're touching bones. I'll let you take feel that. You have actually a spine inside the tail that ends about right here. But other than that, it just, you feel like there's a skeleton inside. Now you have legs that move back and forth, but they don't go out. Nobody was thinking to give it articulation in the hips to help it stand up, and it does fall over rather easily. You have the arms that just go back and forth, and again, this is almost a 30-year-old toy. Here's where it's really cool. Well, a couple things. One, you can see the gums and then the teeth. That's unique. Okay, yeah. None of them have that feature. I love this. This is really was my favorite T-Rex into the Hammond collection, and in some ways it still is. I mean, look at the ridge over the eye. Again, lots of detail, and it's squishy. And then if you open the mouth all the way, let's see, the tongue pops up. Oh, okay. And the reason for that is it's a trigger. So if you put a toy in there and you push the tongue, it's supposed to come down, so it's like biting down. Of course, it doesn't move a lot, but that was the idea, is that, you can, you set it to go. There's a spring up inside there, and you push that, and then it like closes down on the other dinosaur. So I think that's just a really, cool idea. Here is also where this T-Rex is different. The feet are small. And actually, as when you look at the skeletal T-Rex, okay, that I'm going to put up, you're going to see that this is more the foot position of a real T-Rex. The problem is the toy stands better on big feet. But T-Rex kind of walked up on its toes more. The foot did more of it would walk on here, and then this would kind of curve up. So a lot of the foot was up off the ground, and you're going to see that. You could see that other toe now really well defined here, back there. I mean, it doesn't stick out like our bull T-Rex, but very well defined. You can see all the texturing in the knee, So this is just, as you can see, I think this is really a fantastic model of a T-Rex. And if you look at the eyes on our new one, and similar, the yellow eyes, but this one has a little bit of an iris in there. You see the little white paint?
Oh yeah.
In there? Yeah, so he's looking over there. All right, well, let me show you another one. Now, this T-Rex is one of the newer generation ones. Okay, this is the Roar and Stomp T-Rex. And, with this one, the sound is, the speaker's up in here. There's no, the speaker, you see, there's the speaker, okay? It's up inside it. It's hidden. And then on a red T-Rex, the speaker's underneath, just like this guy. So you can access the battery case right there, and there's the speaker. So, I think it's kind of neat that that one's hidden up inside, but it is difficult to get to, and it would be very difficult to get to on one this, this is really small to get in there. So, all right, so this one, the feature it has is, it still has, you can see it has a lot of texturing on the bottom of the foot. Same foot. See that? So they recycled that foot and they put it on the soft body, which is cool that they did that. And in fact, even the body shape and everything is it's basically the same body, just in soft rubber, soft plastic, actually.
Well, what's on the right foot?
Right. So what this is, okay, so one is, this is your scan. So for your app.
Oh, okay.
But when you push that in, it does the stomp. So when you're playing with it,
That's cool.
that's cool, right? All right. And here's that feature. You move the tail one way, the head goes the other, right? Just like the other little rubber guy there. And then you can move the tail up and down.
Oh, that's cool.
And then he bites, he roars, and then it even triggers. It has like a stopping point, like like you push it, there's some tension, and then it goes bam and crunches down. Bam. So that's it's a great T-Rex, is it? So there's inside his gullet, inside his mouth there, and big teeth and everything, right?
Yeah.
Got some pretty big teeth. So let's compare the heads, and very similar in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah, they're definitely cousins.
Yeah. I mean, now you can see the real feel one has more texturing on the face, more texturing on the head. The ridges on the brown one a little bit higher, I think. But they're different head, but the body mold is very, very similar. Just that one is a squishy, flexible plastic. And the feet are the same. All right, well, here comes, another one. Now, after that stomping one, sometime after that came this guy. And this guy is fantastic. When I saw this in the store, I should have bought two. But I bought one. This was like, I think, $45. And I'm like, oh my God, this is another one of those things you just like really wait for to come along. And there it is. All right, so you have a little bit of the hip action. Sure, that's all similar. And you have your feet that turn. And it's the same feet. You can take a look, you see, underneath. But that's where it ends. All right, so same head. But here's what this guy does.
What?
So you push that button, and then he roars, and then shakes his head. It's fantastic. And a nice rubbery tongue. And you can put the tongue, you can position the tongue if you want. So you can push the tongue down. You can put the tongue anywhere, it's kind of an infinite position on that.
I did not expect that.
I know, it's funny. It's fun. Even Mrs. GL1 thought that was great. And let's see. I think if I remember, there's another button, right? We got that one.
Oh, chomp.
Yeah, it chomps. Oh, that's what it is. Yeah. Okay. So you have the chomp there. It's really screaming there. And then that's right. You have the tail, and you can turn the head in all different directions, right? Up and down, back and forth. No. Don't bite. No, you do want to bite. All right, so as compared to this guy, so the tail does that, but you can't rotate the tail. So you can make it go back and forth, and you can go up and down, which, makes the mouth go, right? And then if you go up with it very hard, it'll make him chomp. Whereas this one, same body of the T-Rex, but the tail allows it to move all around. So you see, nothing ever gets everything. It's always like one feature. Like they have one, I didn't bring it down because it's like, it looks the same as these. There's another T-Rex where it bites and then throws something. It goes down. It's supposed to bite something and then it throws the other animal to the side. It really doesn't work very well because it doesn't bite hard enough. Soon I'm going to be doing a show on sauropods, and that has the hardest biting toy of anything I have. Ampellosaurus. So I'll be showing you that. So if we compare the Hammond collection to these guys, you might think they're the same size, but they're not. So move this back a little bit. And the Hammond collection is bigger. So if we line the head up and then we see the tail, okay, so it's like another 3 inches longer. And you could see the feet, the foot is larger on the Hammond collection, which actually is, the foot position is less accurate, but it's easier to have it stand. And notice something else. Look at where the toenail is. It's got, oh no, you know what it is? It's turned around. Look at that. You can turn it all the way around so it's wrong. But here's that inner toenail. Right? There it is. And it's just kind of blended in on the Hammond collection. And then turn that foot around. Okay, good. All right, but other than that, the foot is the same. It's slightly different, but it's mostly the same foot design. But it stands taller than the other large T-Rexes. What's nice too is you can close the mouth and stay closed. The head's a little bit smaller actually in length, but that makes it more accurate to the size, because I think they think kids, love a large head on the T-Rex, so the bigger head makes it more attractive. But you can see it's got the paint, a little darker teeth. Maybe that's more realistic. They'd have dirty teeth. And just great paint. You have the striping, and you have the glass eyes that follow you everywhere, So that's
Still
cool.
Both great examples.
Yeah. So what I'm trying to demonstrate here is that what they did is they would take, borrow features from all these different T-Rexes, and you could see that there's something really great in all these T-Rexes, but they took all these features, or a number of features from all of them, to come up with this, Jurassic Park Legacy Edition kind of T-Rex, So they made this to be like the original, Jurassic Park, not Jurassic World T-Rex, our friend from the first movie back in 1993. So, and it has, you can feel kind of like the bone structure a little bit in this one, not in the neck though. So that way you can kind of turn it like that. So there you go.
Awesome.
What do you think?
GL1, great. I love it.
Yeah. Which T-Rex would you want to have if you could have one of them?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if I can even choose. I mean, all of them are pretty cool, but I gotta tell you, this guy here, that's
the Hammond collection? Yeah.
That guy is awesome.
He is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think you could still find it. You could probably still find it and get it. A lot of times Target has it. So, yeah. And sometimes you have to order it like from their online. They might not have it in the store anymore. Yeah. And it might, a lot of times it's on sale too. So, all right. Well, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. And, now you can put some, I wanted to put some value into this toy. And so people, you all could appreciate, I think $50 is a bit steep for this, but I wanted to put it in perspective to the other T-Rexes so that you could, compare for yourself whether you think it's worth it or not. Also would have been nice if they'd painted these fingernails black too, because they did, look.
Yeah.
They did on this one, this old one, see? So again, it's like, there's certain details. It's like, well, let's not do that. And it's like, who's saying let's not do that? Why don't you just do it? You can. You've shown that you can. What's also nice is you have the double, sort of the I don't know, well, mouth structure, right? That maintains its integrity there when the mouth is open and closed. I think that's a great feature. I think it's the best feature, though, is on this Hammond collection. Again, it's the Hammond collection. It's supposed to be the best, where you have just this rubber that folds in. Yeah, really neat. So, all right. Thanks for watching, and I will put those pictures up on the end of this video. Take care. See you soon.